Welcome everyone. We are in Chantilly for the third edition of the Polo Nations Cup, and we have a thrilling match that it's about to start. We have the first champion of this edition, the team PACA France, wearing the black shirt. In front of them they have a team on the red shirt. It's a bit of a great news to have such a huge organization here in France. Welcome everyone. We're here in Chantilly. We have the team of Australia and PACA France, the first champion of this Polo Nations Cup. I'm not alone today, and I have the pleasure to receive beside me, I have Silvestre Tete Fanelli, a great player that is going to be here with us, bringing us all the info of this huge polo tournament. Welcome, Tete.
Thank you, Pancho. A pleasure to be here with you and with Polo Line. We are welcoming this great tournament in Chantilly, the Nations Cup. We hope we enjoy this amazing game we have this morning today.
Well, this Polo Nations Cup, it counts with 10 teams. We're going to describe the tournament in a moment. Let's go to present Australia. Tete, we go with you.
Australia with red t-shirt, David Paradise, the one and only here playing in Chantilly. It's a pleasure to have him here. With Dorian Bolto, 3-goaler, French player. He won this cup with the team of PACA some years ago. Hilario Ruiz, trying to follow the way of his brother Tito, who is a legend here in Chantilly, with the number 3 and 4 goals. And the number 4, Jota Chaban, also playing here in France since a long time, 5 goals.
Let's go to the team PACA France. The number 1 is Tristan Betoit, a young French player, 0 goals of handicap. The number 2, Edouard Pan, 4 goals of handicap. The number 3, Louis Jarich. We know him as Petit Louis here in France, 4 goals of handicap. And at the back, the captain pushing the team from the back is Julien Ren, 12 goals each team. We're going to start 0-0. Well, players are getting ready to start. We have the 2 officials on the field. It's Martín Inchauspe, the Argentine, alongside Clément Gosset, and the third man is Adrian Legalo. Making the final details with the umpires. Well, as we say, Australia wearing the red t-shirt and PACA France with the black shirt. The ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. Is Jota Chaban for Australia. He finds Dorian Bolto. Dorian bringing the ball in play, well pressured by Julien Ren. Players fighting for the ball. Dorian checks, makes a pause, well backed up by Hilario. Edouard Pan beating the ride-off, and we have the first whistle. Let's see what the umpires will decide.
Seems it's going to be a foul for Australia.
Here we see on the repetition. Yeah, basically, Tete, no, the black player was...
The number 4 black was crossing the line of Hilario, who was coming behind his teammate who missed the ball, asking for the line. And it's 60 yards for Australia. It's going to be hit by Hilario Ruiz.
Hilario, a bit of a combination of horses, some horses of his brother Tito. We see this mare, I think is called West, a very handy pony.
Machine.
Sure, is going to play many times. Well, Hilario Ruiz Iñazú with a 60-yard penalty. Hilario with a massive shot. It's high, it's in the air, but it's wide on the right-hand side. Good shot by Hilario Ruiz, a little bit to the right. So, well, the first attempt is for the Australian team. Let's see what they do from the back. The team PACA France. Julien Ren to put the ball in play. Makes a small tap. Receives the pressure of David Paradise, the Australian man. Julien Ren brings the ball in play. He has Petit Louis close to him. Now Julien Ren in possession. Hits a long drive trying to find Petit Louis, but Jota Chaban gets there first. Could not connect that ball. Leaves the ball now for Edouard Pan. Edouard Pan to bring the ball in play. Edouard with a nice long drive, but he receives all the pressure of Jota Chaban. That is covering the door for the team Australia. Jota now with a nice backshot finding Dorian. And now is the Australian man, David Paradise, with a great shot. David just arrived from England, who's playing the Queen's Cup. Petit Louis turning the ball, recovering the ball for Paca France. Petit Louis with a nice shot, finding the target, but Jota Chaban is there first. Jota checks. No foul, says the umpires, and now is Hilario Ruiz managing the ball for Team Australia, but he is under pressure. Jota Chaban comes there to back him up. Jota checks. Finds a long neck shot, finding Hilario Ruiz. But we have a very good pressure off Paca France. Nice tail shot of Edouard Pan, but the ball bounces in. Hilario scores, and Hilario tries to generate an attack from here. Hilario Ruiz, a great hook off Edouard Pan. Petit Louis in possession. Turns that ball in front of David Paradise. David applying a lot of pressure to the French player. Petit Louis checks. Receives the pressure of his old teammate, Hilario Ruiz. Great player by the young Frenchman, Thierry Betois. Edouard Pan with a massive shot, finding the target from distance. Wide.
What a play by Tristan Betois, eh? The French young player who is playing his first games of 12 goals this season. He told me he was a bit nervous, but he used to play in Argentina. Now he's getting used to play here. He told me the other day that it's a different polo, and he's getting used to play here.
So great to have these young French players having these big opportunities here as well. A long drive from Jota Chaban, finding Hilario Ruiz, but the hook is good from Petit Louis. And now the young Frenchman with a great tailback shot, finding Edouard Pan. Edouard turns there first, taps the ball. Edouard Pan. Edouard with a nice neck shot. He could not connect the last ball, and now is Dorian Bulto wearing the light blue helmet. Petit Louis appealing for the foul. No foul, says the umpires, and now is Julian Ren, the captain. The ball is picked up really well in the air by Dorian Bulto, and he puts this beautiful mare on a breakaway. Dorian Bulto all alone. The approach is perfect. Dorian, he receives the pressure of Julian Ren, but looks like he's going to have enough horsepower to finish this one. Ladies and gentlemen, the first goal of the day comes from the mallet of Dorian Bulto with a beautiful neck shot.
What a goal from Dorian. What a powerful horse. Let's see the amazing neck shot to finish the play. But he's starting from his 60 yards, hitting the ball in the air, then making the horse pass his opponent. Nice play by Australia.
Yeah, and the important set of the horsepower. No, I think in this tournament is played in such a short period of time, so I think the team that is actually better organized will have a bit of a better chance. What do you think?
Sure, no doubt. And you know that with the new rules of not blocking and not hitting the horse of the opponent, it makes the polo more dynamic, and you need to have powerful horses who run, because the play is more open and you are stopping less. So it's important to have horses that run, and the power, and bueno, it's nice.
Exactly. Well, here we're playing with a free change to try to preserve the pony, so players have 40 seconds to quickly go mount a fresh pony. And now we're going to restart this game. The ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. Is players fighting for the ball. And again, the number 2 of Australia. His name is Dorian Bulto. Checks. Receives all the pressure off Edouard Pan. Dorian, with all the pressure in his shoulders, he turns this ball, tries to find some space for his team. Checks again. And hits a nice approach, but is well located there. Petit Louis. Petit Louis, David was trying to go for the ball, and we have another whistle.
What a play by Dorian. Nice horse, huh? Very nice horse. Let's see the repetition. Louis Jagui has the line, and yes, David Paradise is crossing the line, trying to hit. It's a foul for Paca from the spot.
Yeah, a matter of distance. If it would have been a few meters in front, probably David would have been able to go to that ball, or if not, probably the best would have been to ride off Petit Louis and then try to play a near side. But well, a good gamble. He was close to goal. Maybe they whistled it, maybe not. So
yeah,
a good attempt.
Jota is helping him with the stirrups.
And good to have such a person that does a lot for polo. No, he played in the States for many years. Played in England. He was playing, literally a week ago.
with
in
Cambiaso.
in the quarterfinals of the Queen's Cup with Adolfo Cambiaso, the one and only. So unbelievable to have such a powerful team playing here in France. I think it's going to put the bar quite high for all the teams, no?
Yes, no doubt. It's amazing to have him here. It's a pleasure, really pleasure.
Well, the spot in favor of PACA France, and Julian Ren brings the ball in play. Julian checks. His teammates are trying to find some space, but Julian decides to run the ball for himself. He has all the pressure of the Australian man, David Paradise. And Julian Ren brings the ball in play, but Jota Chaban gets there first, tries to clear the danger. He could not connect that ball, and now it's again Julian Ren connecting that rebound. Julian with a nice neck shot, but the ball bounces, and now yes, Jota Chaban. Jota tries to clear the space. Jota nice with a nice neck shot, finding the boards. Who gets there first is Petit Louis. Louis Jarry riding this nice grey horse, finding the young Frenchman Thierry Betoit. Thierry with a nice neck shot.
No, bueno. What a goal.
And what a goal, ladies and gentlemen. The ball was high in the air, and the young Frenchman is showing all his skills here in France. What a goal, Tete.
No. Look, that shot from at least 60 yards with some angle. He's one of the really promises of the French polo, Pancho, eh?
Yeah, it's good to have him here, and well done, PACA France, for giving him this type of opportunities. And we have another whistle when the ball was in play. Looks like the black player got the line, no?
It's a clear foul, yeah.
Yeah, Edward Pan, basically two black players were riding into that right of way, and the red player thought he had a play because he was still in the throw-in. Sometimes those type of plays, they don't blow it until one player is already establishing the line. In this case, they consider that the black player was establishing the line. So the penalty will be from 60 yards in favor of PACA France. Everything is tight at the moment. Both teams had chances. Let's see what Petit Louis can do from this distance. Petit Louis with a long drive that the ball is stopped by Jota Chaban. And again, a good backshot from Julian Ren. Edouard Pan finding the ball. Another backshot from Jota Chaban, clearing the danger. And what a meet by Dorian Bultuo. He turns the ball to the left. He's under pressure. Let's see what he can do from there. Great play by the young Frenchman, finding Jota Chaban on the left-hand side, the captain of Australia. Jota with a nice long drive, putting David Paradise on a run. But Julian Ren is on the center of the field and will get there first. Great pressure by David, and now he's met by Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú. Hilario, the four-goaler, the man from Manzanares. Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú showing all his skills. He leaves the ball for Dorian Bultuo. Let's see what the Frenchman can do from here. Dorian tapping the ball. Dorian to finish this one. The ball is still in play. And he's well met by Jota Chaban. Jota will try to turn this one. Jota receiving all the pressure of Petit Louis. Jota Chaban. And now the black player has to clear. Play, says the umpires. Jota Chaban finding the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Jota Chaban gives a partial lead for Team Australia. They lead now 2-1.
Very nice goal from Australia. Jota leading the team from behind, putting all his experience, playing as a back and more slowly, and sending the Warriors to to push, like Hilario and Dorian. They are doing very well their job. And also David, you saw that David is going to mark the pro in their knock-ins, something that normally we don't see. I like to see him working like this, and
yeah,
he's doing it really well.
He's doing a great job. Well, now players have 3 minutes to quickly go mount a fresh horse, and we will be back in just a moment. are back in the beautiful fields of Chantilly. We are in the field number 2. We are back here in Chantilly. We are in the field number 2. The lead is so far on the team of Australia, wearing the red shirt, and we have here in the screen David Paradise, and we were just mentioning, the strategy that so far is taking the red team, Tete, of putting David, on the knock-ins.
Yes, I like to see David playing like this. He doesn't know the horses. He came yesterday to stick and ball the horses, so I thought he was gonna play more relaxed at least the first day, and he's
on fire.
On fire. He's really playing.
Well, the goal that we just saw actually started in midfield. He blocked a backhand of Julian Ren, and that gave the motion of the team to go forward. Well, now the ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. Was Petit Louis meeting that ball on the near side, but we have a whistle. Yes, we see there the red player was actually with the line, and even though the black player came on the near side, he came with a bit of too much angle. That's what the umpires considered. So the penalty will be from the spot in favor of Australia. Jota to put the ball in play. He got Hilario close to him. Jota with a massive long drive trying to find the goals. The ball is rolling, it's going good, but Petit Louis will get there first. The 4-goaler of France finds Julian Ren riding this big grey. Julian receives the pressure of Hilario, and again Petit Louis bringing the ball from the back. He will check. Petit Louis tapping the ball. Petit Louis with the pass doesn't carry the length he would have wanted, and Hilario Ruiz will get there first. They were appealing no fouls as the umpires. And now is Dorian, really active today, the number 2 from Australia. Dorian Bulto bringing the ball in play, and we have another whistle. Let's see what the umpires consider. As we always mention, we have 2 on the field, always backed up by the third man. And we have a whistle, probably they stepped a bit on the line. Let's see what the umpires will decide.
Honestly, I don't see a foul. I don't know what happened.
Well, basically, if the umpires consider there is a little bit of danger, they will blow the whistle. In this case, as we say, we have 2 umpires on the field, well backed up by the third man. Back in the day, the third man will only participate when they ask him, but nowadays, literally the 3 of them are participating actively on the play. And also this new rule, of having a captain, something that came, they took it from rugby, in polo, and it's really working. Actually, you have a captain in each team, and they're the only ones allowed to talk to the umpires. So in this case, we see Martin Chaupe chatting with Jota Chaban, the captain of Australia, trying to see what's the call. And well, if they do not agree, then we're going to have a rolling. Probably looks like that's what's going to happen. And in this case, the rolling will be from the center to the boards. Ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. Looks like it's Dorian again, really active today. The number 2 from Australia, Dorian Bulto, bringing the ball in play. Dorian with the final tap. Dorian, ladies and gentlemen, Dorian Bulto is on fire today, scoring his 2nd personal goal of the day and the 3rd one for Australia.
Very nice play by Dorian Bulto. He's really active today. He's on fire. His horses are doing really well. And he has the 3rd goal of the day for his team.
And the importance, Tete, of winning the throw-ins, In this case, well done, Dorian, winning the throw-in and putting his team on attack. Let's see who wins this one. The ball is in play. Players fighting for the ball. In this case, he's Julian Ren. Wins the ball, makes a tap. And he decides to run the ball for himself. No, he finds Petit Louis. But Petit Louis encounters Jota Chaban with a nice ride-off. Hits a backhand. But the anticipation is superb by Julian Ren. Julian bringing the ball in play. He has Hilario in front of him. Now Julian with the next shot. Jota Chaban meets the ball really well, and we have a whistle, ladies and gentlemen. As we see now on the replay, Tete.
Let's see what happens. Seems that Julian Ren crosses the line from Jota Chaban, which was quite
meeting that ball, no?
Yeah, and was quite alone. So no, it's just half field.
Penalty 5B in this case, center hit in favor of Australia. Of course, players were trying to go a bit forward.
I think could have been 62 because Jota had the whole field for himself.
Yeah, he was meeting the players and the opposition was actually facing the other way. But well, as long as they keep the same for both teams, we will be happy.
Yeah.
We see Jota here chatting with Hilario. Midfield penalty in favor of Australia. So far, they are leading 3-1. Places the umpire. And let's see what Jota decides to do from the center. Jota makes a tap. He receives the pressure of Eduard Pan. Jota with a long drive finding Dorian Bulto. Eduard Pan meets that ball really well. Eduard could not connect that ball, and who will get there is well backed up by Julian Ren. Julian checks. He has Petit Louis on the right hand side. Good combination between the two four-goalers. But the pass is a little bit short and is well anticipated by Dorian Bulto. That he is really active today. But the defense is good by Julian Ren. The back is good on the boards. Petit Louis. Petit Louis controlling the action for PACA France. Petit Louis leaves the ball for Julian Ren. Julian with a massive shot. But Jota Chaban is closing the door for Australia. Jota receives the pressure of the young Frenchman, and the pressure is very good. But Jota somehow still managed to get the ball. Jota turns to the right now. Jota Chaban checks. He receives the pressure of the young Frenchman, and we have a whistle.
The experience of Jota Chaban, keeping the ball.
Exactly.
Making rulo, as we say.
Yeah, making a bit of a slow play in this case, since he considered he did not have a clear pass. He had two players on him, and well, a bit of an experience in Thierry Betoit there. He passed a little bit. He scores over the right of way of Jota Chaban, creating a bit of danger. So the penalty will be in favor of Australia from the center of the field. Well, as we say here, we play with what we call the free change.
45 seconds to change the horse, and you have to play again. So
yeah,
the game is not stopping a lot, and at the same time we are keeping our horses fresh, and it prevents injuries and things.
Exactly. These horses are athletes, and we do everything we possibly can to have them in the best shape that we can. Polo is a very intense sport. We play, each chakra is 7 minutes long with an extra 30 seconds. So we stop in the middle to change these horses, so they play no more than periods of 3 to 4 minutes, so they can actually be fresh and be back on the field.
Put an eye in Hilario's Ruiniazu horse called Mia, from his brother Tito, a machine.
Great horse, yeah, this beautiful chestnut with a white face. Jota to bring the ball in play for Team Australia. Jota checks, makes a tap. He decides to go for a long drive, trying to find the man that is very active today. His name is Dorian Bulto. Dorian with a good approach. Dorian, and the ball is wide.
What a pity.
But a great play.
It was a great play, yes. They are hitting really well the midfields. Jota is passing literally the ball to his teammates, and Dorian, that is on fire today, put the ball out just by some centimeters.
The ball is in play, and Petit Louis tries to receive that pass, and there goes the ball, and we have another whistle. It looks like a bit unlucky Jota Chaban there when he went to mark Petit Louis. He did an uneven ride-off. Let's see on the replay, Tete.
Seems Jota arrived. He tried to hit left side, a near side back, and that provokes the horse to pass the line a bit and hits a bit Petit Louis in the back. So it's a clear foul and will be, let's see, 60 for Paca, I suppose.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 60 or even probably
40. 40.
Yeah, basically to explain the audience, every time there is a bit of a danger or the umpires consider there is danger, they're going to blow the whistle. And according to where those players are actually aiming, the defenders they have in front of them, and also the danger of the foul, they're going to push it either forward or leave the ball there. If it was a small foul, probably would have been a center or a 60. They consider this play was a little bit dangerous, so that's why they moved it to a 40-yard penalty, while penalizing the red team, and in this case giving a good chance for the Paca team to try to get a 1-goal difference. The penalty is high, it's in the air, and it's good for Petit Louis. The goal is good for Paca France, 2 for them, 3 for Australia.
Very talented player, Petit Louis. It's amazing what he can do with the ball. One of the young French players who play really well.
Yeah, very skillful with the ball, Petit Louis, and I think he's riding a stallion in this checker. The ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. It's again Jota Chaban for Team Australia, and Jota, it's all alone on a breakaway. Well done, Dorian clearing the player so Jota can do just a stick and ball, and Jota Chaban, ladies and gentlemen, showing all his experience, puts another goal on the board for Team Australia.
Australia taking advantage of the throwing again. Jota starting really fast with his horse and scoring the 4th goal for Australia.
Yeah, the importance of this formation, of winning the throw-in, not just winning the throw-in in my opinion, but also winning the throw-in and trying to create a clear attack, because sometimes you win the throw-in and you actually do not generate a clear attack. In this case, Julian Ren winning the throw-in for his team, but David gets there first. David Paradise could not connect that ball, and now again David. Petit Louis controlling that ball, but the ball is stolen by Hilario Ruiz, but the defender gets there first, and his name is Julian Ren. Now Edouard Pan finds the talented player Petit Louis. Petit Louis from right to left. And Hilario gets there first, riding this beautiful mare called Mia. He leaves the ball for Dorian Bulto. Dorian Bulto, and probably he ride off the player a little bit in front. Let's see what the umpires decide.
We will see. Maybe he should go near side.
Yeah, probably the whistle that he rode off Petit Louis a little bit in front.
Yes.
If the ride-off would have been a little bit more shoulder to shoulder, he would have been better. But well, good news for Paca France. They have a penalty from the spot to try to recover possession. With a minute, 5 seconds left in this second chukker, they are down by 2 goals. So this can be a quite important play. Julian Ren to bring the ball in play. Julian with a long drive on the ground is well stopped by Hilario Ruiz. But the back is good from Petit Louis. No fouls as the umpires, and now is Petit Louis trying to find the goal from there, and the ball is wide. But a good attempt from Petit Louis. The defenders were well positioned to try to make his shot a little bit more dangerous. 40 seconds left. We have another whistle. Probably explaining the captains to try to stop all the appealing. And with 40 seconds left, Australia will have a knock-in. Let's see what they try to do from here. They lead 4-2 at the moment.
Seems the players were talking more than what they should, so an advertisement from the referees or...
Yeah, they tried to keep the game, in good terms. They did a bit of a warning to certain players. The next one probably they're gonna go through with a technical. Well, Jota Chaban to bring the ball in play from the back, trying to find some space. Here is Hilario Ruiz Iñazú. He leaves the ball well for the man that is very active today, Dorian Bulto, wearing the light blue helmet. The tap is good for Hilario, and the combination is superb, finding Jota Chaban, the captain of Australia. Looks like he has enough horsepower, but he's a little bit on the left. He receives the pressure of Julian Ren. The shot is good from Jota, a little bit to the left, but a great combination from the knock-in between the Three professionals of the Australian team. From Hilario to Dorian, Dorian to Hilario, Hilario to Jota. Here is the final catcher of Jota Chaban. Did not carry the accuracy that he would have wanted, but a great team play of Australia. Julian Wren bringing the ball in play. He receives the pressure of David Paradise, the leader of Team Scone. Julian bringing the ball from the back. And ladies and gentlemen, we have another whistle.
David putting a lot of effort to mark the 4-goaler, but he stayed on the line. Yeah, he didn't clear on time, so it's going to be a 5B for Paca team.
Yeah, also as we were mentioning, David he arrived yesterday. He stick and ball these horses, so he doesn't know the horses. So probably these type of things can happen when you don't know the horses. Well, the penalty is from the center, and Julian Wren again will try to bring the ball in play. He receives the pressure of, now in this case, is Dorian Bulto with a nice back shot, finding Hilario Ruiz. His mare turned really well. Now it's Jota Chaban. Jota with the hook. Turns his ball. Jota Chaban receiving the pressure of Eduard Pan. Jota Chaban bringing the ball from the back. Jota again. But the pressure is good from Petit Louis that recovers that ball for Paca France. Petit Louis with a long shot. Let's see who gets there. Is Dorian Bulto. And that will conclude the second chukker. The partial lead of Australia is 4 goals to do. Now players have 3 minutes to quickly go mount fresh ponies. And we will be back in a few moments. Thank you. We are back. We see there Juan Rigignasu, a great experienced player that played the Open and many years here in France and all over Europe. The father, of course, of Hilario Rigignasu, giving some advice to the team in red that so far is leading at the moment. We see there Petit Louis mounting a fresh horse, Tristan Betoit, the young Frenchman. And well, this team, as we mentioned, they won the first edition of the Polo Nations Cup. In the second edition was the team Occitan, France. They were the winners, the team of the Zabaletas. And well, this year, 10 teams are trying to lift this prestigious trophy. This club is one of the biggest in Europe, if not the biggest. It counts with 9 polo fields. And within May until mid-July, we have what we call the 12-goal lead. And this is kind of probably the best tournament within those leagues. So every team is fighting and trying to get the horses ready to try to lift this trophy. Of course, we are live every game for Polo Line. So for all the friends, family, and all the people that love the sport, it's a pleasure to bring you the highest level that we have here in France at the moment. Of course, the most important tournament of this club is the Open de France that is going to be played in September. And we have already 16 teams confirmed for that huge tournament. We have some players that actually played the Open playing in that tournament, and also here in the Polo Nations Cup. Well, we're going to restart the game with a throw-in, the second bell. And there we go. The ball is in play. Let's see who wins this one. And it's again Jota Shaban that is very active today. He started a bit slow and now he's really on fire. Jota Shaban on a breakaway, receiving the pressure of Petit Louis. Jota Shaban with the last approach. But who will get there is Petit Louis, and we have a whistle.
Petit Louis was following the line, and Jota, who wanted to ride him off, arrives too early and crosses in front of him, so it's a foul for Paca, who has to improve a bit their throw-ins.
Yeah, Jota was appealing a bit that the guy changed a bit the line. Probably that happened a bit, but also the umpires considered he was not in the right position. So, well, they decide the foul is in favor of Paca France, and now Petit Louis brings the ball in play from the back and tries to find Edouard Pan. But Jota Shaban again is well located on defense. Jota with a nice tail back shot, but is well stopped by Julian Ren. But the pressure comes from Dorian Bulto, but somehow Julian Ren managed to escape from the pressure. Dorian again very active today, finding a good back shot. Petit Louis will get there first. The 4-goaler from France, very talented player, Petit Louis, bringing the ball from the back. But the bump is massive from Jota Shaban, and the back shot is even better. Let's see who will get there first. Again, Julian Ren. The ball bounces, and Hilario Ruiz will manage to get there first. Hilario controlling the action for Team Australia. Hilario with a good approach, but the ball bounces, and now is Edouard Pan. Hilario again with that ball. Let's see who will get there first. Players fighting for the ball. And Jota Shaban, ladies and gentlemen, with a massive shot. The flag is waved. The goal is good for Team Australia. Jota did not even doubt, and he arrived, and with a one-timer, puts the ball high in the sky and scores a massive goal for Australia.
As we said before, Jota is watching from behind, letting his players work, and that's how the ball is arriving to him with time, and he scores an amazing goal.
Ball is in play, and Julian Ren wins the throw-in. The back is a little bit short, and Dorian Bulto wins that throw-in again. He received the pressure of two players. Open back shot, but again another bounce. Dorian fighting for the ball. He receives the pressure of Julian Ren. The back again is good, but the anticipation is even better by Julian Ren. Julian checks. Juegos is one of the umpires, and he has to play the ball. Julian, the ball is a little bit to the left, deflected. Hilario gets there first, but the tap is superb by Petit Louis. Petit Louis tapping the ball. The talented French player, 4-goaler, Petit Louis. Petit Louis with the back shot, but the defense is very good from Team Australia. Thierry Betoit, the young French player, and we have a whistle. Tristan, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Thierry is his father, that we send him a big hello. A great player as well. And well, we have a whistle. Looks like it's going to be in favor of Team Australia. A black player was infringing the right of way. And the penalty will be from the spot, in this case, in the mallet of Jota Shaban. Let's see what they try to do. His team leads 5-2. Jota with a long shot, trying to find space. And David goes and applies a lot of pressure to Julian Ren. David Paradise applying a lot of pressure to Julian Ren. The hook was good. No whistle from the umpires, and Petit Louis now recovering the ball for Team France. Petit Louis trying to find the young Frenchman. And a great pass from the number 4, finding Edouard Pan. Edouard tapping the ball. Edouard Pan scoring a very, very good goal, and a very important goal for Paca France. A great neck shot, and Edouard Pan finishing with Nice taps.
Nice play by Paca. Nice neck shot, nice pass. And nice taps of Edward Pan to finish the play and score.
And we have now what we call the free change. In this case, there goes the whistle once the umpires arrive to the center. They count 25 seconds, and there goes the whistle. And players have 40 seconds to quickly go, mount a fresh pony. 5-3 so far is the lead of Australia. They're leading a bit in the throw-ins, and that's what is giving them a little bit the difference so far at the moment. But everything is tight. The result is still open. This game is very long. 5-3 is nothing in polo. They can score 2 goals in literally less than a minute.
Like we seen in the other 2 tournaments during this season, all the games very tight. All the teams are really competitive. You never know who's gonna win. So we are having a really competitive season of 12 goals this year in Chantilly with amazing teams. We will see what happens in this Nations Cup.
Yeah, and that's very good for polo. Well, we see here on the replay, yeah, a hook there from Jota Shaban. Very, very close, but well, to hook, you need to be 100% on the side you're hooking. And in this case, the umpires consider that Jota's horse was probably a little bit still on one side, on the left side, and he hooked on the right, creating some danger. So the penalty will be in favor of Paca France. In this case, they have a penalty from the 60 yards. Let's see what Petit Louis can do from there. In this case, the defenders will be on the field. They are located 40 yards from the ball, and they're able to stop the ball. In this case, the player hitting the penalty has to hit the ball in one attempt. He cannot tap the ball. Juegos is one of the umpires. That means play. And let's see what Petit Louis can do from the 60-yard penalty. Petit Louis, it's high, it's in the air. The flagman is waving the flag, but one of the umpires was well located from the back and covering the post, as we see here on the replay. Yeah, it was going good, and then the ball goes a little bit to the right, a bit unlucky. A great attempt from Petit Louis, but a little bit left. And Hilario now, they are changing a bit of tactics here for Team Australia. Hilario bringing the ball from the back. And he has Dorian there, finding some space on the right, but the defenders get there first. Now in this case is Edward Pan, riding some beautiful horses, some that he owns and some from his friend Diego Cabana. And now Jota with a nice back shot. The ball gets deflected. Let's see who gets there first. Dorian clearing the danger, taking some risks, but he finds well located his teammate, the number 3, Hilario Ruiz Iñazú. Hilario, the ball is stolen really well by Edward Pan. Edward tapping the ball. And we have another whistle. Yeah, it looks like Dorian probably infringing the right of way. What did you see there, Tete? Let's see on the replay.
Edward Pan carrying the ball, and Dorian step on the swing on the ball of Edward Pan. So it's going to be a clear foul. He has to go near side and not step on the ball. So it's going to be a 30 yards for Paca.
Yeah, good news for them. A little bit of anxiety in that play for Dorian Bulto. He could enter there probably on the near side, or if not, have a clear ride-off. He ended up stepping on the swing of Edward Pan. So clear foul. And Petit Louis from the 30-yard line will try to give his team one more goal. And there goes the shot. The goal is good. And the goal is good for Paca France. They are 4, now 5 Australia. 1 goal ball game. Players now have 25 seconds to go back to the throw-in. And as we always mention in polo, every time players go to the center and they score a goal, They will change ends. They need to have a clear throw in there. And yes, again, Jota Shaban winning the throw-in for Team Australia. Jota bringing the ball from the back, pushing his team from the back. Jota now with the pass trying to find David, and he broke his mallet. And he will get there first. Julian Ren. Now he's Dorian Bulto. Dorian bringing the ball. Dorian tapping the ball really well for Team Australia. But the back is good from Petit Louis. He could not connect that ball. Jota meets that ball really well. Hilario with the final tap. Jota now again. No whistle, says the umpires. And again, Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú. After the 5th attempt, they managed to score a very, very important goal for Team Australia.
We see how Jota was fighting. There were a lot of hooks and backs from the black team, but finally Hilario could get the ball and put it in for the 6th goal of Australia.
6-4 is the lead of Australia at the moment, when we have literally 10 seconds left in this 3rd chukker. But Petit Louis is bringing the ball in play. The back shot is good from Hilario. Tristan Betois receives the pressure of Jota Shaban, but the young Frenchman, look the skills of this player, Tristan. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a whistle, and that will conclude the 3rd chukker. Now players have a bit longer, since it's halftime, to go mount fresh ponies, and we will be back in a few moments. Thank you.
Vous savez pourquoi j'aime vivre ici? Parce que j'aime ses habitants. J'aime les soutenir avec mon livret. Et j'aime donner 1 euro chaque mois à un projet et voir ma banque en donner autant. J'aime voir s'élever les nouvelles entreprises près de chez moi. J'aime voir arriver à maturité les initiatives locales qui nous régalent. J'aime voir que l'on prend soin des êtres qui nous sont chers. Des solutions concrètes et solidaires existent pour soutenir ceux qui se mobilisent près de chez moi. J'aime mon territoire.
We are back, and we have a penalty in favor of PACA France. Petit Louis will be in charge of hitting this one. Very important. Petit Louis, the goal is good. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 for PACA France, 6 for Australia. And what a way to start this fourth chukker for the black team. They need to get back on the scoreboard. They are losing by 1 goal at the moment. Last 2 chukkers. And we're going to have the first winner of the first match of the 3rd edition of the Polo Nations Cup. Ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in. Is Petit Louis again, very active today in the beginning of this fourth chukker. Petit Louis, the approach is very good. He receives the pressure of Jota Chaban. Petit Louis, let's see if he can finish this one. And he could not connect the last ball. And yes, Petit Louis now with a nice neck shot, but the ball is wide. A bit unlucky there in the final tap. The knocking now will be in favor of Australia.
Both teams having attack options directly from the throw-in. So it's been an important play during the day today.
Yeah, we saw at the beginning of the game Australia getting some breakaways, and in this case now 2 clear breakaways of PACA France from the throw-in. Something to correct for both teams. Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú with a nice approach, and Dorian Bulto applies a lot of pressure to the young Frenchman. Petit Louis now turning that ball. Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú now meeting that ball. Hilario Ruiz Guiñazú, and we have a whistle, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if they're going to blow in favor of the red team or they're going to blow in favor of the black team. Let's see what the umpires decide.
We see Hilario hitting near side, taking the line, and Julian is hitting the ball in front of him. I think he was not allowed to do that, so it's going to be a foul for Australia from the 60 yards.
Yeah, in this case, probably Julian Ren had to go to the next play.
Yeah.
It was a matter of distance. If Hilario would have hit the ball a little bit further away, probably Julian would have been able to enter. Oh, well, great play from the young man of Manzanares, Hilario Ruiz Iñazú, trying to follow the steps, as you say, of his brother and father, and he's having a great season at the moment. He played the final of the 6th goal, and now having his attempts here in the 12-goal league. A very important penalty from Australia from the 60-yard line. Hilario Ruiz Iñazú. Hilario with a great shot, and the ball had some power, but a little bit to the left. Well, another attempt for Team Australia. Now the knocking will be in favor of Paca. Julian Ren bringing the ball from the back. His teammates are trying to give him a clear option. He has David applying him a lot of pressure, and Julian decides to run the ball for himself, trying to find some space, but Jota Chaban will get there first. But Tristan Betoa is really active today. He could not connect that last shot. And let's see who gets there first. Is Edouard Pan. Edouard, the experienced Frenchman. Edouard Pan pushing his team from the back. Edouard, now he lifts the ball for Julian Ren. And Hilario Ruiz Iñazú, and we have another whistle. Let's see what the umpires will decide. Looks like they're going to go forward in favor of Australia. What do you see, Tete?
I think that Tristan tried to hook him, and instead of hook him, accidentally he hits the horse of Hilario, and that's what they whistled.
Yeah, of course, a bit unlucky for the young French player. I'm sure he did not try to do it in purpose. But, well, the umpires identified it was a dangerous play, so they're going to go forward in favor of Team Australia. A key moment here. They are leading by 1 goal. They try to get this 2-goal lead that they've been having through the game. So great news for them. Let's see what's going to be the call. And, well, we have a yellow card for the young player. So yellow card for Tristan Betoa. And the penalty will be in favor of Team Australia. In this case, because of the danger, they're going to push it forward. Looks like it's a 40-yard penalty. Just like as we saw back in the play with Jota and Petit Louis, of course, they were far away from their goal. But because of the danger, they push it forward. No, Tete?
Exactly. It's a dangerous play. Was not on purpose at all. But hitting the horse, it's something that we don't like. So they should go further and give them a real punishment. So it's going to be a 40 for Australia that goes out.
Wide. Hilario Ruiz Iñazú hitting a sweet ball a little bit to the left. Unlucky for this young, talented player. As we see here on the replay, a little bit to the left, and the knocking will be in favor of Paca France. They have the chance to try to generate an attack from their end. And Julian decides to run the ball for himself. Julian Ren bringing the ball from the back. Julian. Gaining some space, and Julian with a massive neck shot trying to find Edouard Pan. And there goes the tap. Edouard all on the near side. Edouard Pan. His team really needs him. Edouard Pan all on the near side. Edouard Pan to finish this one. Edouard Pan, the tap is superb. And let's see if Jota can save this one. And ladies and gentlemen, the goal is very, very important for Paca France. A beautiful play from Edouard Pan, winning the center of the field. All on the near side as we see on the replay. And a great finish, eh?
Great play from Paca from one side to another. First Julian Ren bringing the ball, and then Edouard Pan hitting some taps on his near side and finishing with an open back. Very important goal to tie the game in 6 in the middle of the fourth checker.
Bueno, we have a free change. In this case, 3 minutes, 14 seconds left in this fourth checker. 6 for Australia, 6 for PACA France. Everything is tight at the moment, and we have no idea who's going to win this game. Well, of course, you can follow us in all the social media. Polo Line OK on Instagram, Polo Line International on Facebook, and Polo Line TV, of course, on YouTube. And all these games will be... You can watch all the replays, and of course, you can follow them live. Every single game of this tournament. Well, we're going to start with a throw-in after that really nice goal from PACA France. And the ball is in play. Let's see who wins the throw-in again. Very important. Again, Edward Pan very active today. Edward with a nice neck shot, trying to put his teammates on a breakaway. And Edward again, finding some space. Edward Pan checks. Very well mounted today, riding 3 mares that belong to Diego Cabana, a good friend of him. And Dorian Bulto steals the ball. Dorian bringing the ball in play from the back. Dorian could not connect the last tap. And Edward again with a nice back shot. Edward. Jota Chaban trying to slow the game down for Australia and give some clarity from the back. Jota checks, receives the pressure of Petit Louis. Jota again finding some space. Jota with a nice pass finding David Paradise, but Julian Ren will get there first. The ball is stolen by Hilario Ruiz when Edward Pan was probably on that line. Let's see what the umpires will decide.
Hilario seems to be crossing the line after Edward Pan was coming with the ball. Hilario should have ride him off, but he crossed the line and gets the ball. And this will be another foul for PACA, who came from behind and now has a chance to be up by 1 for the first time in the game.
Yeah, very important call. Let's see what the umpires will decide, if it's going to go in favor of PACA or Australia. In this case, well, if they do not agree, they said it was no foul, so we're going to go with a throw-in from the center to the boards. As we say, 3 umpires, 2 umpires on the field. Always backed up by a third man. If they do not agree, they restart it with a throw-in. And Hilario Rignasu wins the throw-in for Team Australia. But the ball is left behind for Edward Pan. What a turn of this course of Edward Pan. And Edward Pan with the neck shot. Edward Pan, the neck shot is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Edward Pan. Petit Louis somehow managed to finish that one. No whistle of the umpires. And the goal is good for Team PACA France. And this is good news for the team in black. They lead 7-6.
Nice neck shot from Edward Pan. Jota was asking a foul, getting the line, but seemed that Petit Louis had space to enter and finish the play.
Yeah, Edward riding some horses of Diego Cabana, L'Amore Mili, L'Amore Venturosa, L'Amore Patada, some horses that came from Argentina, try to acclimatize here in France with him, and probably then they will go and play the high goal in England. So the level of horses in this tournament is superb. Dorian somehow managed to win the throw-in and puts a long ball trying to find his teammates. But again, Edward, that his figure is growing at the moment, hits a beautiful back shot. Dorian again with a tail back shot, but the anticipation is good from Julian Ren. Julian hits a small open back shot finding the boards. The pressure is good from Petit Louis, but Hilario Ruiz riding this beautiful chestnut called Mia. Hilario Ruiz Ignazu bringing the ball from the back. Another back shot from Edward Pan finding Petit Louis. But the ride off is strong, is good from Jota Chaban, the captain of Australia. Jota. The black player has to clear. And Jota now with a massive shot, finding the goal from distance. The ball is looking good. It bounced a little bit to the left. And what a defense by Julian Ren. But Hilario Ruiz gets there and hits another back shot. The ball is deflected. And Edward Pan now, it's on a breakaway. Let's see if he has enough horsepower. The ball is left behind. And Tristan Betoit now. Petit Louis tapping the ball, pushing his team from the back. Petit Louis tapping the ball in the air. He receives all the pressure of Dorian. And again, Petit Louis somehow managed to keep the ball in possession. And he leaves the ball for Edouard Pan. And looks like we have another whistle. Probably a blocking. Let's see what the umpires decide.
Petit Louis keeping the ball for avoiding some hooks and some backs. I couldn't see exactly what happened, but it seems going to be a foul for Paca. A lot of strength and talent in that play for Petit Louis. He kept the ball.
Well, the penalty will be in favor of Paca France. In this case, looks like a 40-yard penalty. As we said, nothing is defined at the moment. Paca France was losing by 2 goals. And now they have a huge chance with 10 seconds left in the fourth checker to enter the last checker with a 2-goal difference.
Lots of fouls for Paca. This checker was not the best checker for Australia. That has to come back in the next one.
Petit Louis with the shot. And ladies and gentlemen, this is great news from Team Australia. The ball is wide. And there goes the final hooter of the fourth checker. 7-6 is the lead so far of Paca France. And what an exciting checker we are about to see. Well, as players have now 3 minutes to quickly go chat with their coaches, drink a bit of water, and we will be back in just a moment.
Siempre lo digo cuando que vengo a España, ¿no? Es un lugar para hacer mucho más que un mes.
We are back in Chantilly for this exciting fifth and probably last checker. We see here the progression: 2-1 for Australia, 4-2 for Australia, 6-4 for Australia. And what a checker we just seen for Team Paca. It was a 3-nail. So far they get the lead, 7-6 starting this fifth checker. Well, a big hello to a good friend, Diego Cabana, winner of the US Open and playing the high goal in England. He's connected on the transmission from the UK, watching some of his mares playing here in Chantilly. As we said, the level of horses in this tournament, Tete, it's been outstanding. And each team is trying to get his best horses to try to lift this prestigious trophy.
Exactly. A lot of these horses will be played also in September in the Open de France because lots of these players are playing also the 16 goal. So the level of horses is really amazing. Let me send a hug to Tito Ruiz Iñazú that is also watching this game and watching his horses from Argentina.
He woke up early then. The ball is in play and we have another whistle. Looks like it's going to be in favor of Team Australia, and this is the best news they could have had at the beginning of this fifth checker, as we see here on the replay, Tete.
Dorian Bolto had the line. He was following his teammate Jota, who left the ball, and a black player was entering and crossing the line, so it's going to be a 5B, which is a penalty from the midfield for Australia. They have been doing these midfields really good, with long hits of Jota and Dorian or Hilario finishing, so let's see what they do now.
Jota to bring the ball in play. He makes a tap. He receives the pressure of Eduard Pan. Jota with a nice long drive on the ground, trying to find Hilario. Hilario with the near side, trying to look for the goal. Hilario, but the defense is superb by Julian Ren. But who will get there is David Paradise with a nice back, finding Dorian Bulto. Dorian turns that ball, receiving the pressure of the young Frenchman. Dorian with another back shot. Who will get there first? Again, Dorian. Who got there first again is the captain of Australia, Jota Chaban. Jota trying to find some space. He receives the pressure of Petit Louis. Jota now with a nice pass, finding one of his teammates, but the young man, Tristan Vetois, clears the danger for PACA France. Good back shot of Dorian Bulto. But Eduard Pan, really well mounted today, finding some space. Jota with the back shot. They could not connect the ball, and now is Petit Louis. Jota Chaban with a nice back shot, clearing the danger, and the ball is rolling. No, it hit the boards, and Hilario Ruiz riding this beautiful mare called West. Hilario has Jota there on the left. There goes the pass, a little bit deflected, and Eduard Pan gets there first. Eduard Pan again on the near side. He receives the pressure of Hilario. Eduard Pan pushing his team from the back, having a great game today. Eduard with the next shot. Jota Chaban. What a game we're seeing. Jota with a beautiful back shot, finding Hilario on a space. Hilario Ruiz now bringing the ball. Hilario. But who will get there first is the back of PACA France. He wants to close the back door, and the back shot is good from Julian Ren. The anticipation is even better by Dorian Bulto. Dorian turns that ball. Dorian Bulto. Players have to clear, and now they ask Dorian to play the ball, and there goes the ball for Hilario. Hilario could not steal that ball, and now is Jota on the near side. Jota Chaban pushing his team from the back. Jota now finding some space. Jota, let's see if he can finish this one. Jota with the final tap. Jota Chaban. The back shot is great from Eduard Pan, and let's see who will get there first is Julian Ren. Hilarious pushing that line, but there's distance, and Julian Ren puts his big grey to run. Julian on a breakaway. Julian Ren, he receives the pressure of Jota Chaban. Let's see if he can finish this one. Julian Ren, but the pressure is superb by Jota Chaban, recovering really well. And the back shot now from Hilario Ruiz Iñazú, finding Dorian. There's space, no foul, says the umpires. What a chucker we're seeing here in the Polo Nations Cup. Petit Louis riding this grey. Petit Louis to bring the ball in play. Petit Louis passing the first defender. Petit Louis again tapping that ball. Petit Louis to finish this one. Petit Louis, ladies and gentlemen, what a goal by the number 3 of PACA France, giving him a very, very important goal for his team. Now they lead 8-6.
Very nice chucker, lots of runs to one side and to another without stopping, and it ends up with a nice goal of Petit Louis, the talented player, to put PACA 2 goals up.
Well, we have 3 minutes and a half left in this fifth chucker. As we say, anyway, the result is open. Australia needs to score right away to try to get that distance on the scoreboard. 8-6 is the lead of France, that started a bit slow in the game, and then they started to connect really well. Let's remember, they were the first champions We had Dorian playing instead of Eduard Pan in their team, and now Dorian is in front of them. And let's see who will finish victorious in this first match of the Polo Nations Cup in the 3rd edition.
Australia needs to score fast. They are not scoring since the 3rd checker, so they need to risk a bit and start scoring because time is running up.
Jota Shaban winning the throw-in, very important for his team. He could not connect that bouncing ball, and let's see who will get there first. No whistle from the umpires, and the next shot is magnifique. As we say here in France, what a next shot by Eduard Pan. The ball is rolling, but Jota will get there first, and Jota somehow managed to clear the danger. The back shot was a little bit deflected by Hilario Ruiz, and we're going to have a safety 60 in favor of PACA France. Great news for them,
What a long shot by Eduard Pan. Really nice next shot. I thought that Jota was not going to reach, but he could make a back before the ball was entering, and then Hilario put the ball into the corner. So
somehow managed to save that goal, Jota Shaban, and a bit unlucky there for Hilario. He hit a good back shot, but it got deflected on his horse. Since he hit his own horse, we still keep the safety. And in this case, it will be a penalty from the 60-yard, a little bit to the left. Let's see if Petit Louis can score this. It will be, if he scores, it's going to be a very, very important goal for PACA France to start to close the game. In this case, the players are allowed to place the ball, try to put it on top of a divot to try to give them a better...
The 4 players of Australia, like in the 60 yards, also in the safety, can be standing between the player that hits and the goal to stop it. Let's see. And it goes out.
Wide, so Australia is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. 3 minutes left on the clock. 6 for them, 8 for PACA France. Let's see what they can do from their knocking. Jota to bring the ball in play. Jota Shaban. Jota, the pass is a little bit short and is well anticipated by Eduard Pan. Eduard Pan. And let's see who wins that ball again is Dorian Bulto. Dorian. He could not connect that ball, and now is Eduard Pan. Eduard, the ball is well managed by Petit Louis, but somehow Dorian managed to steal that ball really well. Very important. His team really needs him. Dorian, all on the near side. Dorian Bulto. Dorian with a massive shot, finding the Australian man, David Paradise, that is on a breakaway. David, he could not connect that ball, and now the back shot is good. No, the ball is called off by Eduard Pan. Eduard showing all his experience here in France. Eduard finding Petit Louis on the right-hand side of the field. Great pass from Eduard finding Petit. Petit Louis with a huge neck shot, huge drive, finding Julian Ren. Julian wins that ride off. And let's see what they can do. Julian Ren tapping that ball. No foul, says the umpires. And now Julian again finds Petit Louis. Petit Louis managing the ball for PACA France. Petit Louis controlling the ball. Somehow they managed to hook him, and Petit Louis still with the ball, and the back shot is huge by Jota Shaban. Julian Ren turning that ball. The clock is ticking in favor of PACA France. They are still in possession of the ball. Let's see what he can do. Julian Ren, the approach is good, and it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's good. It's good, and the goal is good for PACA France. 9-6 is the partial lead. Let's see how much time is left, but the time is clicking in favor of them. And probably we won't have enough time for Australia to try to have a comeback.
Julian hitting the ball with a lot of horses in front. Anyways, he was lucky and the ball was in. Seems that with this result and the time left, it's impossible for Australia to come back.
Well, let's see the throw-in. Who will win this throw-in? Again, it's PACA France, but Jota Shaban hits a beautiful near side back shot, trying to find some space, but the anticipation is great by Eduard Pan. Hilario again with another back shot. Petit Louis now with a nice shot, but Jota Shaban is there, gets there first, wins the ride-off, turns that ball. Jota in possession of the ball. Jota Chaban turns that ball. And ladies and gentlemen, there goes the final hooter. The lead will be in favor of Team PACA France, wearing the black shirt. What a game we saw at the beginning. A great start of Australia, and then the comeback was superb by the team in black. So the first game of the Polo Nations Cup is in favor of PACA France. Thank you, Tete. It was a pleasure having you here, and hopefully to see you in the next games.
Thank you very much for inviting me. We had a very nice game in a very nice field and really well played by the two teams. As you said, the first two checkers and the first three checkers were better for Australia, but then they couldn't score again, and France PACA started scoring and won the game.
Check the happiness of this young Frenchman, Tristan Betoit. I'm sure his father and all the people in Brittany will be very happy for this young talented player that went to Argentina to play, try to get better, and here are the results. Remember, he scored the first goal for PACA France, a huge neck shot, an unbelievable goal for...
The best goal of the day, I think.
By
Amazing.
far.
Amazing goal.
But well, this team of Australia also is the first time probably they were playing together. I'm sure they are a very competitive team, and we're going to see them fighting in the next game. This is a very long tournament, 3 games of qualification, and then we're going to see who are the teams going through the semi-finals. 10 teams divided in 3 zones, 2 of 3 playing against each other, and a group of 4. And we're going to see the best goals of these beautiful games. This is the first goal of Dorian Bulto in a good breakaway, riding this beautiful chestnut. A great neck shot. And here is the goal of Tristan Tete.
This is the goal of the day. Look, that long neck shot from the zero goaler.
From almost 100 yards. Unbelievable.
Was really unbelievable.
This is a nice sweet tap from Jota Chaban, and the importance, as we mentioned on the game, of winning the throw-ins. I think this was a key moment at the beginning. We had some breakaways of Australia, and then the team with the figure of this man, I think Edouard Pan had a great game. He presented himself really well mounted and started to appear in the game. Of course, it's a team effort, but Edouard started to appear, and that helped his team a lot with some important goals like the one we just saw and this one as well, to push his team from the gap back and give them some hopes to get this great turn back, no?
Let's see here the goal of Petit Louis to end up the winning of PACA. Thank you very much.
Let's go with the stats. Well, field goals, 6 in each side. Throw-ins, as we say, something quite even today, 10 for PACA, 9 for Australia. But here in the throw-ins, what we were mentioning is some of the throw-ins were really key, because out of the throw-in, Australia managed to score at the beginning of the game, and then PACA France got some breakaways. Well, fouls, we had 10-8. Penalties, Australia could not score, something also to try to improve, of course, to try to get a victory. 3 out of 5 for PACA France. He could not connect the corner as well at the end. And well, we had 1 yellow card at that play that we saw in the third checker for Tristan.
For sure, Australia will improve during the tournament. It was the first day to playing together, so I think it's gonna be a tough team to play against. And PACA starting really well, and they still have 2 games of qualification, but starting like this is also always very good.
Bueno, thank you, Tete, and thank you all the